Hello. Hi. I rarely go live on Facebook, but I am feeling such a heavy word in my heart tonight. And I'm really feeling a frustration and I guess a righteous anger for what is happening in our nation right now. I'm really struggling with what is going on because it is not okay. What is happening is not okay. And I just want to share a little bit about what is happening in New South Wales, in particular in Sydney right now. So we have been in a 2-week lockdown, which was extended for another week. So it's been extended for one more week. So that's 3 weeks in lockdown, 3 weeks that the church has been unable to open, 3 weeks. And you might say that's nothing, just suck it up, that's 3 weeks. But to me, no, it's far more than that. It's 3 weeks that darkness has been allowed to just take ground. It's 3 weeks that people have been locked up in difficult and struggling in situations. Let me explain. Lockdown is detrimental for a few things. Lockdown is detrimental for mental health. It's detrimental for youth suicide. It's detrimental not just for our economy and our small businesses, but for our low socioeconomic areas where people are struggling. They need work to get by, to survive, and lockdowns are detrimental to all of this. They're detrimental to so much going on in our nation, detrimental to situations of substance abuse and situations of domestic violence. How are those lives measured less than the ones that are affected by COVID right now? You know, yesterday we had 27 cases. Only seven of those were in community transmission. So only 7 of those were infectious, were in the community for their infectious period. Only 7 of those 27 cases. It is absolute madness right now what is going on in our nation and what is going on in our state. In my area alone, in the area of southwest Sydney, so the Liverpool, Canterbury, Bankstown, and the Fairfield areas of Sydney, there is extra police presence where you will be questioned every time you leave the house. Extra police presence to see what we're doing every time we leave our house. Every time we don't wear a mask, we will be questioned. What is going on right now is not okay. It's not okay. And I have a righteous anger in me, because the church is being hidden. The church is stuck behind doors. And you know what? It says in Matthew 5 that you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. But right now the church is hidden. Right now the church's hands are tied behind its back. Right in a time where the world needs hope, where our nation is in need of hope, where our nation is in need of Jesus, where our nation needs to see the power and glory of God on display. The church is sitting back with its hands tied, and it may be that they don't know what to do, and it may be that it's all too much, but it may just be that they're ignorant, or they need to wake up and see what is happening, because right now darkness is taking ground and light needs to advance once again. Light needs to take ground back. It says in John that the light comes and the darkness cannot comprehend it. So we need to rise up as the light of this world and take our true place and position ourselves as that light and take ground back. You know, I think about it, and for 3 weeks, people have been burying their phones in burying their heads in Netflix, burying their heads in their phones, you know, in social media, being fed lies and deception and distraction and evil. While the church is stuck behind the doors. Wake up, church. It's time to rise up. This is not okay. This is not okay. What is happening in our nation is not okay. And this righteous anger in me is because we have what the world needs. We were never meant to sit back. The gospel needs to be preached. The nation needs to be reached for Jesus. You know, I want to read actually Matthew 5, because it's, you are the light of the world, and your light doesn't stop shining ever. The truth of your identity, the truth of your reality is you are the light of the world, and a city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. It cannot be hidden. But It is hidden when we decide to put a basket over it, when we decide to go, oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to hide away. But a city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. We need to set out on a hill once more. The church needs to rise up once more. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want darkness to continue to advance in this time. Because right now, technology is ruling what people are doing, what people are seeing, what people are saying, how people are walking and working and moving. And the church needs to rise up in this time and get on social media and cut through the noise and cut through the deception, cut through the lies, cut through everything that is going on right now. It says, let your light shine before men that they may see your good works. Where are the good works of the church right now? Where are the good works? We need to, as a church, rise up. And I know that many churches are doing what they can and they're doing their best, but we need to rise up in this time and implement good works. It is time. Yeah, amen. It is harvest time. There needs to be a great awakening. Our eyes need to be open. You know, we saw it last week when one tweet by Pastor Brian Houston, one tweet went viral and something shifted in the atmosphere. They were trying to steal our worship. And you may think there's no agenda, or like, Bianca, what are you talking about? There's no agenda. This is a real and deadly virus. You can think what you like. Let me tell you one thing that is absolutely true. The kingdom of darkness has an agenda, and that agenda is to steal, kill, and destroy. It is to take lives and to populate hell. But our job as believers is to populate heaven. We need to rise up as light. And I truly believe that our time is now. This is the time that the church needs to step up and show their good works so that we can glorify our Father in heaven. Let me tell you the kingdom agenda. The kingdom agenda is to make Jesus famous. The kingdom agenda is to go therefore. And any other agenda that would come against that agenda is not of God. So we need to step out. Do what you can. You know, in the last week, I've just been, every time I go out to exercise, I take a stack of hope cards and I hand out these hope cards. Because that's all I can do right now. But essential, exercise is essential. But to me, Jesus is even more essential. So I take these out wherever I go. I believe we need to worship. When we worshipped on Sunday. We just went out after church, grabbed a guitar and sung in a park because we were taking our kids out and we just worshiped. I'm telling you, something shifted. People were drawn in because the glory of God was on display. It doesn't have to be a big event. It doesn't have to be anything massive. It can be a small group of friends, but we need to start pushing back at this darkness. Light needs to advance again in this nation. I'm not going to allow for one more week for darkness to advance. So many people have said, Bianca, it's just one more week. What's it going to do? One more week where people go to hell. One more week where suicides happen. One more week where mental health is at its lowest point. People are in domestic violence situations. And one more week of people in substance abuse situations. And the church has its hands tied. We need to rise up. We need to be light. When light is hidden, darkness reigns. We need to step out as light. We need to step out and be all that we are, all that we were intended to be. So I just want to encourage you with that. So do what you can this week. Worship in the park. I know that this is probably going to get me in trouble. Worship in the park. Do whatever you can to shine this week. Oh, amen. Pat just wrote shine as I said that. Do whatever you can to shine this week. Do whatever you can, because I will not allow darkness to rule for another week. I'll not allow this agenda, the kingdom of darkness agenda, to rule and reign another week. Jesus must be preached. Jesus must be preached. Church is essential. In every other major crisis that we've had, the church has risen up. But for some reason, we're hidden behind our doors. It's time to wake up. Open your eyes, church. Rise up. Be all that you can be. You know how many people have messaged me in the past 2 weeks just because I've stepped out and spoken out on different things? They're waiting for a voice. Be that voice. Be that voice in your sphere of influence. Step out. Speak out. Write to your MPs. Absolutely. We were born to glorify God. That's what we were made for. And continue in prayer. Continue in prayer, church. Don't get disheartened. Don't lose hope. Now more than ever, we need to press in, fast and pray. Call a solemn assembly. It's time that we weep and mourn and push forward and pray in earnest for the church in this time, so that we can see revival, so that we can see the will of God for our nation come to pass. Amen. So I just wanted to share that because honestly, truthfully, I'm at a loss for I can't do this another week. I'm just getting so fired up for the loss. I'm getting so fired up that we're not taking our place. It's time to step out. It's time, church. Amen. Oh, I love you guys. Whoever hears this, share it. Share your own message. Share a message of hope. Share a message of peace. Share what Jesus has done in your life. Let's flood the airwaves for Jesus. Let's flood them, because people are stuck on their phones and they're being fed lies and deception and evil agendas from the kingdom of darkness. So we need to push back with our agenda of light, so that people can see the glory of God and so we can shine. Amen. All right. I'm off. It's time to step up, church. Love you guys so much.